Welcome to another eye-opening episode of Journey Unfolded. Get ready to explore the shocking truth behind the silent exodus of immigrants from Europe in 2025. Europe has long been seen as a land of promise, offering stability, opportunity, and a higher standard of living. From the romantic streets of Paris to the industrial might of Germany and the Nordic welfare havens, immigrants from around the globe flocked to the continent in hopes of building a better life. The continent stood as a symbol of hope, freedom, and economic opportunity. Families left behind everything, homes, loved ones, cultures, to chase a dream that Europe seemed to promise. But fast forward to 2025, and something unexpected is happening. That very dream is crumbling for many. A growing number of immigrants are now reversing course, leaving behind the countries they once saw as safe havens. Cities that once symbolized new beginnings are now places of struggle, isolation, and frustration. So, what changed? Why are immigrants walking away from the so-called European dream? What are the hidden truths that mainstream headlines won't tell you? Let's dive deep and uncover the real reasons why thousands of immigrants are choosing to leave European countries, and why this silent departure could change Europe's future forever. Rising cost of living, when dreams become too expensive. For many immigrants, the European dream is now priced beyond reach. Inflation, housing shortages, and skyrocketing prices for essentials have created financial pressure, especially in cities like London, Paris, and Amsterdam. Rent in many European capitals has doubled in just 5 years. A simple studio in central Paris now costs over €1,200 per month, and groceries are no longer affordable on minimum wage jobs. Immigrants, often in lower-paid positions, are feeling the pinch the hardest. Even countries once known for affordable living, like Portugal and Greece, have seen rent and food prices shoot up, making survival a daily battle. With no relief in sight, many are choosing to return to their home countries or relocate to cheaper parts of the world like Asia or South America. Tightening immigration policies, from welcoming to walled off. Europe once opened its arms wide to refugees and migrants. But in recent years, that welcome has cooled. Countries like Sweden, Denmark, and the Netherlands have introduced stricter immigration controls, more complex visa renewal processes, and harsh deportation laws. Some governments are even cutting benefits or limiting family reunification. Many immigrants, especially asylum seekers, are left in limbo, waiting years for legal status or being denied the right to work. The emotional toll, financial uncertainty, and fear of deportation are pushing many to voluntarily leave. Lack of job opportunities, promises unfulfilled. Despite the myth of endless opportunities, many immigrants struggle to find stable, meaningful employment. Language barriers, lack of recognition for foreign qualifications, and discrimination often keep skilled migrants stuck in low-paying jobs. A qualified engineer from Syria may end up delivering food in Berlin. A nurse from the Philippines may be overworked and underpaid in a British care home. With unemployment rising in several European nations and locals prioritized for hiring, many immigrants are giving up and heading to countries where their skills are valued more, like Canada, Australia, or the Gulf states. Rising xenophobia and discrimination, feeling unwanted. The political climate in Europe is shifting. Far-right parties are gaining traction in countries like Italy, Hungary, and France. Nationalist rhetoric blames immigrants for crime, economic downturns, and cultural change. This rising wave of anti-immigrant sentiment has translated into hate crimes, workplace discrimination, and even street harassment. For many immigrants, especially Muslims, Africans, and people of color, Europe is starting to feel hostile. Why stay in a place where you are constantly reminded you don't belong? Welfare cuts and social benefit reductions. In response to economic challenges, several European countries have started slashing social benefits, particularly for foreigners. Access to healthcare, housing subsidies, and unemployment benefits is becoming harder for immigrants. Denmark, for example, has implemented ghetto laws and separate education systems for immigrant children, reducing their access to quality services. Without the safety net that once made Europe attractive, many immigrants are left struggling to survive, especially single mothers, the elderly, and refugees. Bureaucratic hurdles lost in the paperwork. Getting visas, work permits, or even renewing residency is becoming a nightmare. Many immigrants complain about the endless paperwork, delays, and confusing legal systems. One missed deadline or document can result in rejection or deportation. Even highly skilled immigrants in France, Germany, or the UK report frustrating delays in permanent residency applications. Some have waited years without clear answers. Fed up with the red tape, they're deciding to leave. Housing crisis, nowhere to call home. Across Europe, the housing situation is dire. In places like Ireland and the Netherlands, there simply aren't enough homes. And the ones available are unaffordable or in poor condition. Many immigrants are living in overcrowded apartments, temporary shelters, or even on the streets. In cities like Dublin or Stockholm, bidding wars for rental apartments are now common. Immigrants are often the last to be chosen by landlords. With no permanent place to stay, the dream of stability vanishes. Family separation and emotional strain. Long waits for family reunification have taken a deep toll on immigrant families. Many immigrants left their spouses and children behind in hopes of bringing them over later. But due to strict immigration rules and slow systems, they remain separated for years. This emotional burden is one of the biggest reasons people give up and go home. What good is a better life if it means living apart from the ones you love? Better opportunities elsewhere, the world is opening up. Europe isn't the only destination anymore. Countries like Canada, New Zealand, and even Japan are offering better work-life balance, higher wages, and smoother immigration processes. The Gulf nations, like UAE and Qatar, attract skilled and semi-skilled workers with tax-free salaries and faster visa systems. For many immigrants, moving elsewhere means less stress, more money, and a higher quality of life. Europe is no longer the only hope. Is the European dream fading? The departure of immigrants from Europe signals a deeper shift. While the continent once promised hope, prosperity, and safety, cracks are now visible in the system. Rising costs, social isolation, and systemic barriers are pushing many away. The dream hasn't just changed, it's crumbling for many. But this trend isn't just about policies or economics, it's about people. People who came in search of a better life, and who are now saying, "This isn't what we hoped for." Will Europe change course and rebuild its image as a welcoming home for all? Or will it continue down a path that drives people out? Only time will tell. Until then, many are already walking away.